Good morning, children. Good morning. Yes, I am really happy today. You know why? Because the theme, the message of the poem we're going to do today is rich or poor, we all need our everyday things. Whether it's a toothbrush or a comb or some medicines or maybe just a pen. Just some rich people think that they can just be better or they are better because they are rich. But in everyday things, we are going to read about things which rich or poor we cannot do without. Alright, children, welcome to Harleen Ma'am's class. Good morning, children. Grade 3. Yes, images, chapter 10, everyday things. Everyday things. Children, what are the everyday things that you use? You can't do without them. You need them every day. Food, clothes, toothbrush, comb. Yes, I hear that right. Medicines, pens and pencils, newspaper, magazines, books. And now in today's world, yes, a phone, right? Okay, so today we're going to do this poem, Everyday Things. What are some of the everyday things? Whether you're a king or a billionaire or just a student or just a normal person or just anybody. What are the things that you cannot do without? I just named a few. Now imagine that you're packing your bag for an adventure trip and you packed some special things. Can you describe the things in your bag and draw them as well? That will be great. So we start everyday things. There are many things that we use every day. We're going to read this poem about such everyday things. Should we start, everyone? All right. Millionaires, presidents, even kings can't get along without everyday things. Were you president, king or a billionaire, you did use a comb to comb your hair. If you wish to be clean, and you would, I hope, you did take a bath with water and soap. And you did eat food if you wanted to eat bread and vegetables, fish and meat, while your drink for your breakfast would probably be milk or chocolate, coffee or tea. You did have to wear, you could hardly refuse, underclothes, yes, and outer clothes, stockings and shoes. If you wished to make a reminding note, you did take a pencil out of your pocket and you would sign a letter, I think with anything better than pen and ink. If you wanted to read, you did sure to look for a book at newspaper, magazine or a book. And if it happened that you were ill, some oil or chalk on a pill. You did down some oil or chalk on a pill. If you had a cold, I suppose you did use a handkerchief for your nose. When you wanted to rest your very tired head, like other folks, like other people, you did hop into your bed. Millionaires and presidents and even kings can't get along with these everyday things. Yes, children, we move on. I hope you've understood the poem, Everyday Things. Yes, these are the things nobody can do without, right? Whether you're rich or you're poor, you are young or you're old, we have to get along with all these everyday things. Now, the poor people need the common everyday things and the rich cannot do without them as well. Yes, the answer is A. We move on to the second part. In this poem, the poet is trying to show, is he trying to show the difference between the rich and poor? Is he trying to say that they're similar in many ways? Or is he trying to say that the poor are better or the rich are better? The correct answer is B. Yes, he's trying to show that rich or poor, we all need our everyday things. Now, what idea has the poet expressed on the first two lines? He says, whether you're the richest person or the poorest of all, we cannot do without our everyday things. Can you do without your toothbrush? Can you do without water? Can you do without clothes? Can you do without some medicine? Can you do without your hairbrush? A pen? No, we cannot do without these things. Mention 3 things that are common, everyday use between the ordinary folk and the rich people. Well, food to eat, clothes to wear, and hygiene. For hygiene, whatever we use like toothbrush, nail cutters and combs, etc. These are the things we need to keep ourselves clean and to be hygienic. What does a person, rich or poor, use for reading or writing? Well, the rich don't use something different, or the poor don't use anything different. They all use a pen or a pencil, some kind of ink, right? So that's what the question and answers were all about. We move on to think and answer. What is the message by the poet? Yes, you're right. The message is whether you're the richest person or the poorest. Remember, we all use the same everyday things. Yeah, the difference could be the rich might have diamonds in the toothbrush, right? All right. So these are the basic needs of a person are the same. The basic needs of the person are the same. The food to eat, the clothes to wear, and for a personal hygiene, things for that. We move on to, can you suggest another title for this poem? All right. I heard human needs. All right. Same things. Okay. Things we can't do without. Brilliant. Some rich people feel that they are better than the poor. Isn't that true? Is that really so? Are they better than the poor? No, they are not better than the poor, because end of the day, children, we all need the same basic things. It's just how you put it up, right? And I hope you all enjoyed the poem as much as I enjoyed. If you want, we can do a little poetry recitation. All right, we move on to the poetry recitation. Everyday things. Millionaires, presidents, even kings can't get along without everyday things. Were you president, king, or millionaire, you would use a comb to comb your hair. If you wish to be clean, and you would, I hope, you'd take a bath with water and soap. And you did have to eat, if you wanted to eat, bread and vegetable, fish and meat. While your drink for breakfast would probably be milk or chocolate, coffee or tea. You did have to wear, you could hardly refuse, underclothes, outer clothes, stockings and shoes. If you wish to make a reminding note, you did take a pencil out of your coat, and you did sign a letter, I think, without anything better than pen or ink. If you wanted to read, you did sure to look at a book, a newspaper or a magazine. And if it happened that you were ill, you did down some oil or choke on a pill. You did down some oil or choke on a pill. If you had a cold, I can only suppose you did use a handkerchief for your nose. And when you wanted to rest your weary head, like all other folks, you did hop into your bed. Millionaires, presidents, even kings can't get along without the everyday things. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the poem. And yes, goodbye for now.